working it Wednesday in the parking garage. I just pulled up, went through the gate so I can be great, not late. I had to crack my own self a hoop. No, I thought that was I don't know who that is. I need to, you know what? I said I need to send a message. Dear Secretary Mullin, please, can we please? Or do it to Secretary Rubio. Which one of them? Because, okay, we work in conjunction with state on immigration and all that, right? So, just whoever. Please. We had a Chinese spy mayor out in California that just resigned. I believe yesterday. Her boyfriend or old fiance was a spy, so they, got him. So now come find out. I mean, we ain't no come to find out. Freaking spy. So when I first saw the story, I said, oh, is it Fang? Now, for many folks, and I know many folks, because most folks, I follow different things. So I don't just wake up today and just act like I know. It's certain things I know. So I was like, oh, is that Fang? Is she in the same spy club with Fang of the Eric Swalwell Fangs? Because Eric Swalwell, before they threw him under the bus for his foolishness, what was it, last month? Whenever it was. Before that, a couple of years ago, he was entangled. He had an entanglement with a Chinese spy named Fang. So I said, oh, is that Fang? This is not Fang. This is some other little hoe. Sue Young or something Young. One of them Youngs, I don't know. Not Egg Foo Young, but Sue Young. So I said, I'm about tired because it's bad enough you got China paying and doing different, propaganda in our classrooms and different things that they're doing with their money, pushing their foolishness. On top of the fact that TikTok, which is a Chinese app, and that's why it was important to try to get some U.S. ownership in it because they got our information. Now, I know a couple of people, they was like, we just need to go ahead and let TikTok go. And we probably do at this point. I think we need to let a whole lot go. But, yeah, so the Chinese, and then they had other ones, they got caught. Chinese man got caught a couple of months ago. I don't know. I think it was Las Vegas with a biolab, running a biolab. If you look up what a biolab is. So bringing in possible biological weapons to use. And then one of them pled guilty last week, a couple of weeks ago, for bioweapons. So we know the intent of China. So I'm like, why do we can't? Then, no. Then the baby meals. So the Chinese, and it was another group of nationality joints, they get like hotel rooms and they set up and they have, get set up for people or Chinese females get pregnant to have their babies here. That's why we need to get this birthright citizenship. If nothing else, stop that birthright citizenship, because that is the backdoor paddy wagon that everybody is using. And when it wasn't meant for everybody, it was meant for exactly who it was meant for. And I don't like, because there's too many daggone different terminologies and groups. But this is one time we had to be specific. Foundational Black Americans, FBAs. The term that I learned a couple of years ago from the group of guys that I follow and have taught me a whole lot about different things, including the birthright citizenship and why it needs to be addressed and done away with, because like everything else, it's being piggybacked upon to expand and to exploit for other people for purpose. America is full. We need a full sign at the border. Closed for business, closed for closed for business, closed for reformation, closed for everything. We just closed. Especially to China and all these other nefarious people, to the Somalis and all them. And we just closed. We need a closed sign. Then I saw Secretary Mayorkas. Now, I don't know if this came, if this was recent. I'm going to have to look this up. I saw a headline from yesterday that said Secretary Mayorkas said that President Biden could have done more to close the border earlier. Well, Secretary Mayorkas, I agree with you, and because you were the Secretary of Homeland Security that I had to sit under for 4 years, and you all was running that nefarious circumvention of this, that, and the other, and all that. Yeah, they had a law that they called circumvention. Y'all know what circumvent means? Look it up. Just like abort. Abort means stop. Circumvent means to go around. So that I said, how you write a law that says circumvent? But then I said, you know what, because y'all know most people don't read, don't know, or they don't care that you're going around laws. Because many folks don't. And then most people don't know. That's why when I hear people talking now, and y'all do a lot of talking, but I'm like, y'all don't know. You don't even know half the stuff you need to know. Because you rely on other people to tell you something. If I can come and tell you that poop is really water, and sell you that foolishness, and you believe me, you a fool. So when you don't think, that's why I said we have got to start critically thinking again. But I just want, because Fang, this new Fang, they need, first of all, they need to get Eric Swalwell in the room. Because since he was hooked up with one spot, then we got this one spot. How you get to be, that's why, and we don't need no more foreigners in any level of United States government. This is out of hand. It's out of hand. You got a whole foreign that is not even legal. I forgot what state it is. How you want to, I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, well, I know what's wrong with many people. You just so ignorant to the real threats and dangers around you that you don't understand. You think that you're doing something by allowing people to come here and exploit our system and laws and benefits, but yet you want to holler affordability. Nothing's going to be affordable as long as we got to keep padding our costs. And then these people, when I was sitting there listening to this guy go over how it was enough hearing the social worker lady from California explain how the illegals in California, because a lot of these places, just like Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, write in or pass things, and they say, oh, we're not giving these benefits. Yes, you are. Because you do laws like they did a couple of years ago at DHS, which with the intent of circumventing. So they circumvent, which means you go around the law that is written on the books, that was voted on and made into law, and then you just backdoor it. So while they're backdooring it, but when you hear how, see, you know, most of us, when you go in business, you got to spend money. When you make some money, you got to put a certain amount of money into your business, and then you take the other half. Then the sad part, you as an American citizen, you taking your money, you got to put your money back in the business. You got to buy things for your business. You got to pay these fees and regulations that they pile on you, and then you might take home some money. Not so with them. They're getting benefits. But then they don't have to take that money and put it back into the business. You know why? Because they got food stamps and all that, and they use that. So when you got that's a whole benefit over you. They making more money. That's why they living better. I was getting sick yesterday just listening to this man. I was like, are you serious? I said, it makes you mad all over again. But I'm not really necessarily like the lady from California, this woman that used to be a social worker said. You can't really be so mad with them because they're being allowed to do it. They threw that door to the border wide open. and just gave them slips of paper and told them to come report back, knowing daggone well they not going to report back to no court date, and just gave them, ran them off with some benefits and sent them to all these different cities and states, and these fools, we gonna make it a sanctuary and we gonna give them this. But the taxpayer, we get the bill, and then we told to go to work. And I don't mind working because that's what you're supposed to do. Bible said work. Tell you about a whole lot of slumber and how your poverty will overtake you. So yeah, you're supposed to work. And plus it's a reward in it because you actually feel good for what you do for the most part. I'm not, you know, but to work and then be ripped off by people that are finessing and then they able to stack their cash better because they getting everything handed to them or getting all these different breaks or benefits. And I'm like, how that work? We citizens. That's our birthright. To get whatever is being offered, that should be for us. But no, they coming over here exploiting the system. And then like in Somali, the Somalians case, I do believe Minnesota, them politicians out there, Governor Walz, Tim Pond Walz and them, they helped them people finesse the system. They knew what them people were doing. So you're teaching them, you're showing them how to finesse. I'm like, the enemy is all up and through here. And I'm sick of it. So please, Secretary Mullin, Secretary Rubio, President Trump, while you over there talking with President G, can you tell President G, LaShawn Agnes Lipscomb said, don't you send up all your people over here? And if we can't find them, if we find them and they're spying, we're going to send them back to you, and you can do whatever you want with them. Do whatever you want with them. Get them out of here. This one man said, now, I don't think we should be spending no money putting her in jail. We just need to send her back to China. Let China deal with her, because one thing China don't want, you be found out you can't do your job of spying properly. So if whatever they do to her, that's their business, because she ain't up in this over here spying. You over here running a city as mayor in California, even though California is straight garbage. Anything goes territory. Even though they straight garbage, that's American territory purchased from Mexico. I say we let Mexico buy their ass back, and they deal with them. And then we just build the wall starting right there and make it high with electrifying wires and razors, snipers, and all that on the wall. Let Mexico have California back. They just got paid. They can give us that money. Or should we let them have for free? California ain't worth. I know some of y'all live in California. Sorry. But there's so much devilment that kicks off in California. It's disgusting. And as one of the guys that I watch say, I don't want my America California-ized. So you keep your little Chinese spies out there and all your little loose, fruity E.J. Johnson, Mr. Potato Head, jokers and his daddy, because he's a fool who endorse Karen Beck. That's because he don't live amongst the squalor. Can rich people stop talking? Can you stop talking? You live behind a wall with gates, your money. You won't feel the effects of nothing going on outside around you because you don't have the money to do that. But as long as you have silly people, such as my fellow citizens that actually get off on listening to you because I don't know, I guess they feel as though, I don't know, I don't understand your minds. Get your minds out of people's pocket. But for real, the Chinese spies, we need to find out where all of them are. Start with Eric Smallwell. He probably know where all of them are. Heck, he probably had a massage parlor now near him in California as he plans his next comeback. Yeah, we closed for business. Tell President Trump that he can't send nobody else over here. Or we gonna, and because we not gonna buy no more of their stuff. We gonna have everything. We need to have more made in America, because we can't. Why are we spending money with people that keep doing nefarious stuff up in here? No. We can't be as stupid as the people that are being stupid in all these different states. Shut that crap down. We closed to everybody until we get some order around here.